On July 27th, 2017, I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and had to go into chemo right away. I was legit in chemo that Thursday. Like hey, you have something in your chest. It's most likely not benign. You are going to be, your world's going to be upside down. And I knew I needed to fix this. We ended up finding out that it was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's up, PricePlow Nation? It's your boy Ben here with Mike Yewdell of Beam. I'm super excited to sit down and talk about Beam. We started talking about this, I'd say probably about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny, when we sat down and talked about it, it's really why I'm so excited to do this today, is like, I had no clue what I was stepping into. Like, I thought I was going to have like a 15-minute call on a new brand. You know, like we have a lot of these calls with new guys that, I mean, you're not new to the industry, but like that new first brand pitch is usually like, you know, we've got the most innovative formulas, et cetera, whatever. I was walking into something that I was not expecting. I think we talked for like an hour and a half. So just to be transparent, let's try not to do that too badly today. But I'm so excited to bring your story to everyone. It's really, I could not wait for this call. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. And
Thanks for having us.
Can you give me, I guess, let's get just a little bit of background without the full Beam story yet on you, just kind of like where you are in the industry, if you're comfortable talking about that.
Yeah, of course. So I've been in the industry for quite some time, 10 years now. I've been part of another company that I started out of college, out of my dorm room, out of a necessity, and been in the industry, been into fitness my entire life. And I always like working out. I always liked supplements, but I never actually kind of put two together until college, until we started my other business. And fast forward 9 years, I can't believe how long I've been in this industry. That phone call, I was so excited to have that call with you because I've been working on this on Beam for so long. When you understand my story, everybody who's watching, you'll understand that Beam is so much more than the name of this company because Beam represents so much more. And I'm so excited to share that with you. It's a crazy story, so get ready, everybody, because what you're thinking might not be the case. Like Ben said, we're not out here to be the best in terms of loading things up, and our story really embodies who we are, and we want to make sure that the consumer and the customer is taken care of first, and that's our first interest, because I had to take care of myself first. And that's something that I've learned over the past 9 years, that the customer comes first, and the customer experience is by far the most important.
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of talks about innovation across the board, and I think this last year, ingredient innovation has kind of fallen a little bit, but what we have really seen is like the consumer experience is really huge for innovation right now. So it's one of the spaces that you really can still push. So it's funny, when I first had my first phone call with a lot of companies, it's always, I have to be like careful and caring because it's your baby, you know, and you've been working on this for long enough. And usually it's like, you know, we've got the best flavors, we got the best formulas, and I have to respect that because you really do think that. But with you, it was like, this is just so much huger than normal. So so let's do it. Let's talk about where Beam is from. I'm really excited for this.
So yeah, so like I alluded to earlier, I spent 9 years in this industry, and over those 9 years, at this point it was 7 years. Over those 7 years, I was paying attention to a lot of things in this industry that I knew needed to be fixed. And the best way to fix something is to start your own brand. And that was really the goal. That was the mindset. 2017, January 1st, I wanted to start my own brand. And with that, started the process. What was it going to be called? What was going to be special about it? I didn't know. I just knew I needed to fix some things. And in the summer of 2017, I got a call and didn't think anything of it. I was a working 27-year-old. I was just like, it'll go away. A couple months went by. It did not. Got an x-ray. That x-ray found 3 tumors in my chest. And on July 27th, 2017, I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and had to go into chemo right away. I was legit in chemo that Thursday. Like I got, hey, you have something in your chest. It's most likely not benign. You are going to be, your world's going to be upside down. And I knew I needed to fix this. We ended up finding out that it was Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the doctor said that the course of treatment, even though it's super aggressive, has a really high chance of curing you within 4 to 6 months. He said it might be 4, probably will be 6. And I was just like, 6 months, it's fine. Put things on hold, kind of have my business partners who are the same business partners with Beam. They took the slack, they covered me, they were amazing. And we were able to fast forward 6 months. I didn't take off from work very much. I didn't take off from working out. A little different definition of working out because when you're in chemo, you don't have that same energy, but I still went to the gym, and 6 months went by, and unfortunately, the cancer was still there. The chemo didn't work. With cancer, that means you failed, and I had to try another chemo, and that failed another 6 months. And we got to the third chemo, and we were trying clinical trials, and that failed. So this little 6-month blip in my life is now 18 months, and I'm fighting for my life. Who cares about a company? Who cares about my other endeavors, the fun stuff in life? I was worried about me, and I had to look after myself. And we switched hospitals, and we ended up going to a hospital that believed in radiation at this point. So I went under radiation. And then following radiation, we went into this 4-day, wildly aggressive chemotherapy, whose acronym was BEAM, which is BEAM. And that was the start of what turned into this incredible story, because fast forward 20 months, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm in remission, I am cancer free, and I could say that Beam saved my life. So when I came up with that idea, when I came up with that name, that Beam was such a great name, it was more than the chemo. It was the embodiment of what I truly believe social media, what we're doing here by working out, becoming the best version of ourselves is kind of thrown around. But the way I look at it is you're trying to be amazing. The reason, let's say we both probably follow this guy, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, amazing human being. He might pick up really heavy things. He might be jacked out of his mind. But the reason why we all follow him is almost the same reason why we would follow an Ellen DeGeneres. They are amazing people. And when you look up to these people, you're trying to be better versions of yourself by using them as inspiration. And I think that is the embodiment of what Beam Be Amazing stands for. And that's the message that I want to relay to our following, our customers, anybody who comes across this brand. We want to make you better because you deserve to be better. You deserve to be the best version of yourself. And I fought for my life, and Beam just happens to be the chemo that saved my life. But what that journey has turned into has been out of this world incredible. For example, by being in this cancer community, I was thrown into a world that I never was supposed to be in. And cancer is horrible. We're all affected by cancer, and I'm still affected by cancer. I'm still constantly worried, and I'm still constantly thinking about things, but I got to give back. And 2 years ago, I started doing Philanthropies and working with cancer research. And this year alone, Team Beam has raised over $200,000 towards cancer research, and 100% of that goes towards cancer research. So we're literally in day 2 of this brand, and we're already giving back. We're already making this world more amazing, or as I would like to say, we are making positive change for the future. And that's so important to me. And we haven't even talked about supplements yet, because that's the best part about this, is that supplements are everything in this process. Because when I got sick, I needed to stay fed, I needed to have energy, and I needed to really take care of my body from within, because there was poison in my body. There was tumors in my body, and I needed supplements to get by. And supplements became, obviously they were part of my life. I mean, I was taking every supplement possible. I had the luxury, but now it became what type of quality, what type of ingredients, and how is this actually helping me be better in this fight? And it became this, you got to look at these ingredients, you got to look at these formulas, and you got to be strategic, because you got to know where you're getting your product from, and you got to buy it from the trusted and the reliable source. And frankly, it's not that easy in this industry. And that's kind of scary when you think about it, because at the end of the day, you're putting this stuff in your body, and that scared me. So that was kind of a lot of the inspiration behind Beam.
Cool. I mean, it's so exciting. I think it's kind of, I don't want to say it's funny, but the imagery of me thinking about you like going into this machine and like seeing the acronym on it and being like Beam, like, and like you gotta like I'm imagining you having like this moment of like, clarity. You're like, that's actually a really cool name. I should do something with that. But you're in this super intense part of your life. I like that you've been able to bring positivity out of it. So I mean, that's what I have been when I tell people about Beam. I'm like, it just has such an incredible message. A lot of companies say they have a message, but it really is about profit at the end of the day. Of course, it is a business, but it feels so real with Beam. When I took that call with you, I could feel that, which is really what like motivated me so badly to make something out of it. So we should touch on this, even though this really, I'm so focused on the message. What differentiates the actual product assortment of Beam from what you're going to buy from someone else, other than where the profits are going to go?
Yeah, no. That's a really good question, because at the end of the day, these are supplements, and this is going to be more than just a supplement company. So our products are truly special, and it comes down to right now 3 really important factors. And obviously, the giving back and the pro change is very important to me personally. But on a supplement side, it comes down to 3 factors. So formulas is super big, and we'll go into that. The process is so important, because without the process, it's almost kind of that question mark where you're just like, what am I actually taking? And then I said it earlier, the customer experience. We are so we take so much pride in the experience, whether it's the packaging, whether it's the shipping, the delivering of the product, and the speed of that. But the flavors were so important to us. And you know me, and the boys, we care about the flavors so much that we'll talk about that as well. So to start, the formulas. And in this industry, I said this, a lot of people just throw everything at, let's say, a workout or a protein. What can I fit into this product? Honestly, without even thinking, they're just going to throw in certain ratios, certain dosages that just don't make sense to me. So what I had to do, let's start with the pre-workout. That was almost like a puzzle where the pieces were the ratios of the ingredients. And without the ratios being right, the puzzle pieces would never make sense. So what we did was we have 4 really high quality patented ingredients. We have the products and the ingredients that we're all accustomed to, the citrulline, the betaine, all that stuff. But when it comes down to like the nitty gritty stuff, it's really important to us to protect the consumer. And one thing that I've noticed in the past is these stim bomb pre-workouts throw everything at the consumer, wake them up. As long as they feel something, they're going to say, this is a great product. And that's not the case with our Beam pre-workout. Our Beam pre-workout is an incredible experience, and the stimulants is not the main part. And the reason why is we actually use the best form of caffeine, the natural form. And it doesn't hit you right away. It's not directly into your system and it wakes you up. Your body's got to digest it. But there's so many benefits from having the natural form in the version that we have compared to the synthetic anhydrous that everybody else uses. So from the consumer perspective, I don't want them to be jittery. I don't want them to get overwhelmed. If they take too big of a scoop, it ruins their workout. I want their body to be able to digest it and be able to have a great experience. And then with that, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just like I was trying to explain it on our stories yesterday for your launch, and I was kind of trying to like, it's hard to compare it to another pre-workout because the specific ratios of a couple of things in here, like the caffeine and the cocoa bean, those 2 give you an interesting stimulant. But then when you pair that with the KSM and the theanine, you have this like matching of like a calming with a stimulant, and it's very unique. It's not really like anything I felt in other companies, which is awesome for your differentiation. It was very enjoyable to actually use.
Yeah, I mean, it's that clean, like stable energy that you don't feel like whoop, 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 like that, all that up and down feeling of like, oh my God, I'm too stemmed out, and then you crash. And with us, these adaptogens that you're speaking of with the KSM, the like all these ingredients, it's so important to us that you don't overwhelm yourself, that you do have the good experience because the minute you taste it, we killed the flavors on these. Mango lime, I had it this morning. I was having watermelon candy for the past week. Oh, they were so enjoyable. Even the dry scoopers out there. I got a text message this morning from my girl Laura saying I could dry scoop this anytime. It tastes so good. So the flavors are amazing. And then on top of that, that's the first part of the experience. Then the second part of the experience is, all right, when this hits, you feel it in terms of, like you're dialed in. You don't feel like I'm up, I'm out, I'm shocked out of my mind. My central nervous system is going in overload. It's just like you kind of just like turn the knob up and you're just like laser focused, but that clean energy that you were just speaking of.
Yeah, I call it the oh shit moment where you're like, I don't know if this is going to get worse or if this is like the height of it, or I don't know where this is going, but we're strapped in right now. You gotta just have to ride it out at a certain point with a lot of pre-workouts. So I was phenomenally impressed with that. The vegan protein, I keep hearing awesome things about, and it's so funny because it's almost like I didn't expect that. No one expects that to be the pinnacle of the flavor and stuff. So just between because texture, I mean, like if you've had vegan proteins, like that you're just not going to enjoy that. It just, I mean, that's very interesting to me that so many people are like resting on that when you also have a pre-workout and a whey protein.
Yep. I think somebody mentioned it. It's just like, is that your flagship product? And I was just like, I have more confidence in our vegan protein because of the flavor compared to the industry. I was just saying that, yeah, our pre-workout, there's no best in this industry. We all know that. There's just better experiences and definitely more thought process between products. But our vegan, there is a best when it comes to flavor. And we are so confident in our flavors, and the blueberry muffin is my favorite. The chocolate is amazing too. But we're so confident in our blueberry that we made thousands of samples to give people a reason to be like, all right, fine. If I'm going to get a sample of this, I'm going to try it and be blown away. And the truth is, that's what happened to me. So I was at the flavor house and I was going on this whole rant that I've had any vegan protein and they're all gritty, they all taste like dirt, and I haven't found one that actually has one, a unique flavor, and then two, one that actually was like an enjoyable experience where you could say, okay, there's 20, 30 servings in that. I could have 20 or 30 servings. And we got our little like Dixie cups handed to us. I took it and I was just like, what flavor is this? They're like blueberry muffin. I was just like, this is the best blueberry muffin I've ever had. And they're like, Mike, that's the vegan. I was just like, no, it's not. And they're like, yeah, it is. Here's the whey and here's the vegan. And I was just like, give it to me again. And I legit had the full serving in like Dixie cups. I was just like taking shots. And I was just like, guys, this is it. Like this is special. And it comes down to our formula. We use clean protein and we use, I mean, smooth protein and clean cream. And those two patented ingredients, one, are not cheap, and two, very important for the experience because it's in the name. The smooth protein smooths it out so you don't have that like gritty texture, and the clean cream gives it that creamy taste. Like you don't feel like you're kind of sacrificing because you're choosing vegan, and that was the most important thing. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just like you shouldn't feel shortchanged. Like, oh crap, I have to take vegan, so I have to have a worse experience. No. So that's what we started, like wanted to do, and honestly, Tarun is so good at flavoring. Our flavor house is out of this world, and we nailed it. And people are trying it. There may or may not be one coming to you. I don't know that. The blueberry muffin is definitely my favorite. The chocolate people are obsessed with. And we actually are the first in the US that I know of that are using mung bean protein. I think I spoke about this with you and I was just like, have you ever heard of this in the US? And you're like, no, I actually haven't. And the coolest part about mung bean protein, one, it's the highest in leucine. So we all know what leucine does. Leucine is the most anabolic BCAA. So like we want that in as much of our protein as possible. And two, it tastes great and it's the most bioavailable plant-based protein source. So obviously we use pea protein because there's so many benefits of that. There's no soy in this product, and the mung bean plus the experience separates us and makes it a truly special product.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I think that it's at an interesting point in the industry where like quality of vegan proteins, I mean, they're all pretty high up there, right? Like, so that, and there's only so high that you can make a vegan protein. I mean, it's never going to be that animal protein, right? And we can't really kid ourselves about that. But at that level of quality, like the difference for the consumer is going to be the flavor from now on. Like, it can either be enjoyable or what we're used to. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully, Beam can help shift that for vegan proteins because there still is that.
There's not a lot of competition. I'll give you that. And I want the competition because I truly think we're the best when it comes to flavoring. And we already talked about formulas and whatnot. That's all subjective. But when it comes to the mouthfeel experience, the lack of grittiness, that dirt taste that everyone refers to, I think we are strides ahead of other people. And I think that it comes down to putting the money into the ingredients and the process that I spoke about, because Beam controls the entire process, from sourcing the ingredients to the flavor house to the manufacturing of the product to the delivering of the product to your door. Like farm to table, we are the entire process. And what that allows us to do is to control the customer experience and honestly cut zero corners, because if I had a middleman in any of these situations, I would have to pay a lot more. And like you said earlier, everybody comes down to profits. How much can I make? And my thought process is like, how much could I put into this product to long-term make this brand the high-end premium brand that it is, so that people, when they hear like Mercedes-Benz, they think high-end quality cars. They need to think that with our supplements, and the trust will be built in over long-term kind of reiterating of where we're getting our products from, how we're sourcing them, and obviously those incredible flavors.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people don't. A lot of people know like you get what you pay for, but what you're talking about cutting out that middleman that allows you some room to invest more without raising the cost too much.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely strategically the best thing you can do. So we've talked about the story, which I mean I think is the most motivating part of this, but we've also talked about the actual product, which obviously is important. Let's talk a little bit about what you're going to do as a company. I mean, I don't want to talk about like how you're going to sell the product. I don't want to come off that way, but like, who are you partnering with? What kind of initiatives is Beam going to be involved in to spread the name? What can people look forward to seeing you guys doing?
Love that. Love that. So we are going to use my story as almost a foundation of what to do going forward in terms of our influencers and our athletes. And we're partnering with some incredible athletes. And the truth is that we want Beam to be a mainstream brand. We want it to be for the masses. And the way you do that is you've got to make products that, one, they can relate to. I think if your packaging didn't align with this, it would be very intimidating. And it could be something where someone would be like, that doesn't look like a product I would take. That was very important to us. So we made our brand and our branding very open to, like what I like to say is the 18-year-old going to high school, going to the gym after, and then the mom or dad that drove him to school all can take Beam supplements. And we want to market to them, and we will have a very diverse group of athletes. And for the younger demo, we have three incredible athletes, Jack, Gab, who's in a relationship, and then Josh. They are YouTube stars. They have an incredible story. They built their brand, and fitness was a vital part of their lives. And we had relationships with them, and we always said that if we were to do this brand, we would love to include you guys. And their journey is just starting. So that was pretty incredible for us. And we love the fact that, you know what, they're talking to a younger demo, and we understand the younger demo is where it's at. And they were educating their demo why they love working out. And they always took supplements, so I would always send them supplements. And I was just like, hey guys, I got something in the works. Let's talk a little business. And they're like, oh my God, we love the story. We love the products. We love everything that you represent. We would love to be part of the team. And then we have somebody who owns their own business in Nashville. Her name's Jess, and she's incredible and she's amazing, and she's had her own journey. And all of our athletes have a story and something that means something to them, whether it's eating disorders or cancer or something like that. We want to give back through those influencers, and each one of our influencers has a story to tell, and we want to be part of that story. So even though we did an incredible job with cancer research and then the philanthropy cycle for survival, we want to do so much more and in so many different avenues. So that's how we're going to really market. Then we have an incredible athlete in Dustin Lynch, who's a platinum. If you like country music, which now I do because I started listening to it since the company, those are like really big people that hit mass audiences. And you would say, well, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not putting up. He's not 2% body fat. He's not that image. But we don't want to be that. We want to be the person who's just like, I want to make my body better. I want to put better ingredients in my body, and I want to be a better version of myself. That's the person we're talking to, and that's so important to us that that message gets portrayed in everything that we do. We don't need you to be the biggest person in the room, putting up the heaviest amount of weight, and we want this to be a company and a brand for all.
Yeah, I think that we can get really caught up in this industry in bodybuilding and, abs and muscles and stuff. And I think a lot of the time we forget that the average consumer who's involved in this stuff does not look anything like that. They might aspire to that, but I'm really excited, like with a company with yours, where you can have relatable people. I mean, you've got people. I mean, YouTube is huge. You have these content creators that can create incredible things to move your company's positioning and message. But you have people like Dustin Lynch, who's an incredibly positive message, and he might not have had cancer, he might not be a bodybuilder or something, but like he has a following that listens to him, and he seems like a very positive person. So it's
yeah, exactly. And he loves supplements, and that's literally what all of our relationships were just conversations, and that's the best part about all these partnerships and athletes. They're part of the story, and I literally texted them all yesterday. I was just like, I'm so thankful to be launching this brand with you guys, because everyone says my story, but it's our story because you're part of it. Beam is so much bigger than me now. It's so much bigger than the chemo that saved my life. It's going to affect so many. It's going to bring so much positivity in this world. And you don't forget, like, I don't forget the people in my life that supported me and were there for me when I was sick. And you don't forget the people that you launched the brand with. And we strategically have around 20 athletes that are all equally amazing. They all have their own stories, and they have their own platforms. And the best part is that we can talk to the masses. Everybody can look at Beam products and love them and say, oh my God, it's such a cool bottle, or such a cool brand, or such a cool story. But then people such as yourself, PricePlow, all these really, really smart guys in terms of formulas and science can appreciate what we put into the bottle, because you can see that the quality is top notch. The formulas, the ratios, top notch. And you've tried a lot of products you can taste and say, all right, this is special. And that's what I love about this brand. We've spent 9 years looking at this industry. We spent 9 years seeing what was right and what was wrong. We perfected the customer experience. We just were missing a brand and a product lineup to deliver it. Now we have it, and that's the most exciting part.
Right. Well, I'm super excited about it. I'm really into the idea. I'm into what you guys are doing, and the product backs it up, which is my favorite part. Obviously, it would be disappointing if we had this incredible story and the product didn't match it. So,
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the three big things I really wanted to get out of you. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add on about the story?
No, I think the story is still going.
Yeah.
And for everybody who watches this and who participates in anything Beam going forward, you're part of that story. So welcome to the journey. And I'm enjoying the ride so far. And the journey is all about the process. And cancer was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm thankful. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. Definitely wouldn't wish it upon anybody. But I'm so thankful of the perspective it's given me and the opportunity it's given me. So this is me giving back, and this is an exciting time in my life, and I got a lot of life to live. So I'm excited to share it with each and everybody. honestly. Anybody who wants to join, let's do this.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much. We're rounding out at 30 minutes here, so it's a perfect time to hit this. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of news reviews and interviews coming up with Beam. A lot of stuff happening. So for anyone watching, you can go to PricePlow.com/Beam. We'll have your products listed up there. Obviously, you can save with coupon PricePlow. I have to put that in there.
Right.
And we're going to have a couple breakdowns coming up soon. I want to do vegan protein first just because I'm so excited about it. But obviously, we'll dive into the pre-workout as well because it just seems like everyone wants to know about pre-workout, obviously. So, Mike, thanks so much for joining me. I'll cut this out here so everyone can get out of here with just a half hour. But I really appreciate your time, and I'm very excited for everything to come.
Thanks so much for having me.
Welcome to PricePlow.